Hello everyone, welcome to another, oh my goodness, the cable is, the cable almost entangled and knocked the camera over. Welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Decathlon event. Now we're going to be doing this one first because, well actually they both run out at the same time anyway. The traditional draft fired one day late because of technical difficulties, but we're going to go with the new player decks first. This is something that I've been quite familiar with. I will note that a lot of talk has been about, oh, everyone should be, the Avalanche deck is really good. So we're gonna take a look at the Avalanche deck, but I personally do not want to run this one. So what is the strategy of the Avalanche deck? It's basically to hit your big drops, namely your Spirit of the Elder Guard. That's a good mid drop. Bergstrider is annoying as a 4/4. And otherwise, it's Ashaya, Icebreaker, Kraken, and Bookworm. So, of the threats that matter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, Quandrix Cultivator and Bergstrider are annoying as well, but they're more easily dealt with. There is an Avalanche Caller that can be an issue because of for generating 4/4 elemental creatures, and I've seen this happen quite a bit as well. So I can see that the issue is, you are tempted to take out a lot of their ramp, and they do have quite a bit between the Sculptor of Winter, Lotus Cobra, Emergent Sequence. I really want to leave Zimone alone. But otherwise, most of their cards are generally answerable. So I'm gonna actually decide whether I want to try to beat them or join them. Now, if I want to try to beat them, that pretty much means you want to have black as some sort of unconditional removal. So that leaves out the white-red deck, which I really don't want to run. White-green, you can try to kind of get over the top, but it is also quite questionable here. You might be able to beat them with flyers, but that's super unlikely. Red-green, you could try to race them, but this is also kind of unlikely. Also, I just noticed that your removal package is so lackluster. You only have 3 Royal Eruption. Choose your weapon could be a pseudo removal. Bull Strength. It's your removal is hope your opponent blocks. So I probably would not run this one. Maybe if you feel like that you're gonna go first in a lot of the games, yeah, go for it. I guess maybe you could outrun your opponent. Sky Patrol, I definitely don't want to run this particular version. Yeah, you have 3 portable holes, but you're trying to answer big things, so that leaves you with 3 exiles, and oh, this one doesn't even have a Doomscar. Pass. Okay, there's 3 Sod coming also, but I would not try to rely on counter spells to answer it. Having some counter spells is nice. But that pretty much leaves us the decks with black. Actually, we skipped one deck, the Fireworks deck. Also something I probably would. Well, we do have 2. We have 2 instances of Bounce, which could be worth it. Demon Bolt is big enough to hit most of the. It will hit most of the things except for the top heavy ones. And with those, the Fireball and the Creative Outburst is not gonna hit. Meteor Swarm could hit them. But I probably could hit one of them, but I wouldn't count on it too much. So this is plausible. Yeah, having some bounce is kind of decent, but it's mostly lackluster. That leaves us with all the decks with black. Let's start with the black-red one, which I'm actually surprised. As far as hard removal is concerned, it's 1 Soul Shatter, which it's hard removal, but you have to direct it, and the 3 Grim Bounties. That's it. You could go for a really large Orcus, Prince of Undead. That's kind of unlikely. A Westgate, but you do have a few cards that if they land, it could spell the game. Generally, the Westgate Regent and the Goldspan Dragon. But this is so much relying so much on getting your ramp early because, let's be honest, Hired Hexblade, Jaded Sellsword, no one's impressed. The Skullport Merchant's more impressive, I'll be honest. That leaves me with my 3 actual candidates. Control Center is a pretty good one here. We have 3 copies of Poison the Cop, a Baleful Mastery for the threats that you don't want to have keep coming back. Gelatinous Cube can answer some stuff. You got 3 copies of Flunk for the early game. Elder Fang Disciple to nuke your opponent's early hand. Your late game package is, your winning package is the one that's very unimpressive. Like, sure, Mind Flayer borrowing their creatures is probably a good one. Imrit is fine. It's actually, no, it's Imrit's the only good one. The other ones are not that impressive. But you're trying to essentially control the board and win that way. Not everyone's playstyle, but I might end up with that. The other good one I would say is Growing Hunger. 2 Poison the Cup, but 3 copies of Power Word Kill, which is quite relevant because it will hit everything in the Avalanche deck. There's some copies of Struggle for Skemfar, but no creatures with Death Touch. So, well, you might have a creature with Death Touch if the Binding to Old Gods resolves in time. Yeah, and take it back. This one is is also not that interest. It has the hard removal. Surprising enough, it's the white black deck that has the most hard removal. 3 copies of Bloodchief's Thirst, a single Vanishing Verse, 3 copies of Closing Statement. This will hit creature or planeswalker. Yeah, it's kind of expensive, but timed right, it's just 3 mana to do that. So it's essentially the equivalent of Poison the Cup. And you have like additional precipitous drops for early, and there are a number of creatures with Death Touch between the Yonti Fangblade and Triumphant Adventure. Thunderous Orator can copy the Death Touch from time to time, so that's kind of relevant. And Silver Quill Command, target opponent could sacrifice a creature in the worst possible time. So, you know what? I'm torn between Dungeon Delving and Control Center. I know you can change decks, so I'm gonna give that a shot. I'm gonna start with the Dungeon Delving first. So this one is gonna be all about trying to beat Avalanche. And you do get incremental advantage with the venture into the dungeon. It's not a laughing matter. You do get advantage over it. How good is the advantage? Well, not the best, but it's quite decent. Okay, so we definitely are keeping this one. Early Bloodchief's Thirst is a good start. I can generally just go Orator into Nadar, and then maybe Bloodchief's Thirst, what a bigger threat when it gets to that point. So we are definitely keeping this hand. We would like to hit some other creatures that have other keywords, like Yonti Fangblade would be good. Triumphant Adventure would be fine. We do have to be very judicious about our removal. We did choose the deck that has the most removal, but okay, so our opponent is playing white. Black. Okay, so it's a mirror match. Opponent has an Orator. Our opponent could have a Precipitous drop. That would be fine. Kind of clears the way for Nadar. Yeah, Yonti Fangblade. So this will hit with Death Touch, but we can choose to. We can trade it off. It's a non-issue here. We hit the Thwart the Grave. I'm gonna play Nadar first. Now note we can't get Nadar back. Oh, technically we can get Nadar back, so we do want to hit mana. Yeah, I guess I do want to hit the 6 mana right away. That's so this is a bit sketchy, I'll be honest. I normally would have milled that. The opponent also has a Nadar. Okay. So we are going to take the hit first. Opponent will get their token if it... Oh, they're going for treasure token. Okay. Yeah, there are ways to protect, but I didn't see any of them, so I went for it. So I could go for the treasure token that gives us Thwart the Grave right away, but I think I want to go for the goblin token because it gives us a cheap blocker on the Fang Blade. And then we can swing. We are 2 mana shy. We can just Cloister Gargoyle first. Hold on. What? Let's double check. I have not done dungeon in quite a while. Technically, we can do storeroom and we can complete 1 dungeon right away between this and swinging with this. Our opponent might have Planar Ally. Okay. And with that, we completed our dungeon, got an extra card, and now our gargoyle also flies. And we do have the Thwart the Grave ready to buy things back. We can also do a Yonti Fang Blade to... Let's see, if our opponent swings with both, I am willing to just trade for both of them. Opponent's deciding, because he knows he's throwing away the Fang Blade. Okay, yeah, because if it hits, they draw a card and complete. So we're going to just pass it down. Also because it gets us 2 creatures back when we do Thwart the Grave. Barrowin of Clan Under. He does get to return the Fang Blade, so that is an issue. So now we need to decide if we want to keep scrying or if we want to go to Mad Mage. I'd say we need to keep drawing cards, so we'll do Pandal Haver again. Yeah, this time we can safely mill those. Opponent needs to hit the removal now. That is a concern for us. We just used up our Thwart the Grave. I'm not very happy with that. I'm fine with it, actually. Well, not too happy. Also note that this is natively a 3/4, so if our opponent has a closing statement at the right time, we might have a problem. Like, I can see a sequence where our opponent can... Oh, okay, they don't have it because they're going for a dungeon again. They're going for the Yawning Portal this time. They're going for the big one. Yeah. I guess we keep venturing. Now we go for the token because I do want the +1/+1 counter. Now I have to note that this is my only repeatable one. The rest are ETB. But if this dies, it's 3 mana, so no, we take out the repeatable one. Because I can swing with this guy, it comes... Yonti Fang Blade. This is interesting. They're still don't have the closing statement mana. Yeah, Barwin getting back Nadar is a big deal. Oh, we did hit our closing statement mana. You know, playing our allies good. We'll see how our opponent blocks. Yeah, they definitely have to block that. They're okay, so they're trading those off. I could keep Yonti Fangblade alive. And their opponent concedes. Now that said, what happened to our opponent can easily happen to us also. So we're not exactly out of the woods in that in that setup. I would have been really scared of yeah, there were several cards I was really concerned about. Namely the following trick. Yeah, namely the demonic gifts. Then at least I know it's 2 mana, so that's something I can kind of dodge out a bit. But otherwise, we really need to have a good opening sequence. That might be where the Avalanche deck shines. It's easier to tell all your early cards are going to help you into your mid-range cards, so as long as nothing happens, you are okay. Yeah, I don't like playing. We do need to hit 1 mana, another mana for blood, preferably black for the Blood Chief's Thirst, but I'm already expecting an emergence. Oh, Sculptor of Winter's fine. Okay, we did hit it. Wait, let's cancel first. Let's see if our opponent's willing to trade. Because we might get away with just casting Demonic Gifts. No, they did not. We'll have to do it the hard way. And let's see. Next turn we probably lead on with the Dungeoneer. Ooh, opponent might be holding up bounce mana, I suppose. Yeah, we definitely need to scry for our removal now. Triumphant Adventurer works too. Opponent goes Bubble Snare, perfectly fine. They might have another one, can't really do anything about it, but rather get that out of the way. Yeah, note that our opponent is playing hard mode and just... Okay, they dropped the Berg Strider. They'll most likely tap down the Triumphant Adventurer. We do have the sort of trick. Let's see if our opponent blocks. Yeah, they block. Yeah, we're skipping on the Barrowin, but I kind of don't want to cast it anyway. Opponent's now at 6 mana. Well, they're tapping all their green. That means they probably do not have Graven Lore. Oh, they're looking for another Bubble Snare. Bubble Tea. Bubble Snare. So they kind of want to keep this Triumphant Adventurer tapped down, which could... I think they might have found something they wanted. Let's see, they probably found it. I know there's at least 2 or 3 copies of this. Yep, they found it. That's fine. Nah, let's not close it yet. Now we go for Barrowin. Although we don't have anything to really get back, we do need to start... We do need to start dungeoneering a bit. So we have our own veteran dungeoneer, but I would rather just hold up the closing statement mana. Let's see. Opponent goes Snow Day. Okay, so just... I could have actually put another counter, the counter on this one. So Avalanche Caller makes a bunch of 4/4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the other strength is basically, it's all tempo based. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for our opponent to actually cast something big. Now take note that we only have one literal piece of removal right now, and our opponent, Quandrix Cultivator, is fine. Let's see if they cast something else after this, because the plan is to snipe the Avalanche Caller so that they can't make any 4/4s on my turn. Let's see also if they happen to have something big. They're going for the quick tech. Could be a Blizzard Brawl into, say, Barrowin. I don't exactly have a creature in the yard, so that's a Blizzard Brawl for that. Now technically it's actually a waste to put it here. This does give it +1/+1. I probably should have just put it here. Yeah, that was a mistake. It would still have enough to nuke it. But we did get rid of the Avalanche Caller. We'll probably take 5 in the process. And now they might have an... Yeah, Silver Quill Command saved us on that. Saved us on that time. Yeah, well, to be fair, our opponent didn't hit any of their major big drops. We were kind of and we knew we had to play around the Avalanche Caller doing their thing, or pretty much whatever big drop our opponent had. So we kind of had the plan for that. That said, am I convinced that White-Black is still solid? Well, I guess the big issue with White-Black, which has always been the issue, is card draw, or rather lack thereof. So every bit of resource counts. If our opponent had a little bit more removal, or just had another bigger creature I could not answer, things would have been really hairy. Okay, it's super sketchy. We know we want to hit 3 drops, and we only have 1 2-drop here. I really want to mulligan this, but we have a Nadar already. Then a Precipitous drop. Okay, I'm gonna keep this, but we probably are gonna get punished. Maybe not, we'll see. Also, what's our double black? Okay, we didn't get quite punished, so... Also need to remember, what's our double... We also have to take note, because we are... Even if it's just a single pathway, we need to note what are our double... Thwart the Grave is double black. Yeah, always nuke the ramp. And Thunderous Orator is fine, actually. If our opponent goes for another cheap card, or even Vortex Runner is fine. Let's see if our opponent falls for this. They always do. Though Vortex Runner is the least least concerning among the cards I have to worry about. Another Vortex Runner. I could go Nadar, but what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go Veteran Dungeoneer first because we've. Let's see. We definitely want to create a treasure. No, let's still go for the Goblin. Well, let's wait for a much bigger threat because the Vortex Runner is only scary when our opponent hits 8 lands, and even then. Okay. Things are really bad if you're casting Eureka Moment on your own turn. Okay, our opponent might have a Blizzard Brawl, so that would take out the Orator. Zimone. Okay, so it's ramp galore. Okay, we did hit our mana though, so what we can do is closing statement, nuke this, pump this. Yeah, I don't like using it this early, but we do have quite a bit of gas now. My concern now is if our opponent happens to hit, well, they can't hit Bookworm. They can hit a Bergstrider or Spirit of the Aldergar, but at that point, I'm actually quite willing to just chuck stuff now. Bubble Snare, okay. That's fine, actually. I'm actually going to go with the Cloister Gargoyle first. Note that our opponent could still have... no, never mind, they conceded. I was going to say, our opponent could easily have the Quandrix command. That would be a bit of a blowout. 2+1/+1 counters on Zimone and bouncing our Cloister... Well, actually, bouncing the Cloister Gargoyle is fine. Bouncing the Bubble Snare would be annoying, but... Well, we're making it true. I'm already wondering if I do want to swap out decks the moment I take a loss. But we've... Okay, so again, very concerning. We do have early removal. But we do need to hit at least 1 land for the Cloister Gargoyle and whatnot. The good news I can say is that, oh, it's black-red, so a little bit different. Also, if our opponent goes Kalane, I won't be able to nuke that with Vanishing Verse. Shambling Gas, I can nuke that, but is it worth it? Probably not. I might just go Cloister Gargoyle. I could go Precipitous Drop, but that's probably the biggest waste. So let's get a little early venturing going, because we know we want to hit a little more land. Veteran Dungeoneer is nice, but we're missing the land. We'll put that in the bottom. We have a drop if we need to take out something like, say, Kalane, or... If they go Deadly Dispute, it's actually kind of fine. Hired Hexblade for no value is fine too. We hit the Triumphant Adventure. I would love to do that now, but... This deck also has quite a bit of removal for cheap creatures. It's actually tempting to do the create the treasure token. Oh, let's keep the Goblin. Oh, the Immerstrom Predator is a concern. Vanishing Verse is not gonna hit that, and they do. Opponent goes Grim Bounty on the... Okay, that's fine. Still missing mana though. But they used up the Grim Bounty there, so I'm actually okay with it. Also not gonna swing. Our opponent could just Deadly Dispute right now, which would be annoying, but I don't really... Yeah, we did take a bit of a risk. We did draw 1 land, but it turns out we needed a little more. Yeah, so 3 to 4 is the real sweet spot. Red Dragon. Well, it's each opponent, which is fine. Since I can vanishing, well, looks like I am going to have to vanishing first that. Oh, annoying too. Because this has. Oh, it's when it attacks venture into the dungeon. Okay, so. Yeah, I'm gonna swing with both. And because of the timing, we do get to put a +1/+1 counter here first. So Shambling Gas not gonna take it out. Opponent probably just blocks the token and makes a treasure. But do note, a 2/2 Triumphant Adventure is not gonna get us very far. Okay, opponent draws a card, loses a life. At least I'm glad that they're using the artifacts that way. Skullport Merchant. Okay, they got more juice where it came from. But technically we could use... Okay, they can also sack some. Unwilling Ingredient. Oh, they gone all... They emptied everything out. So definitely want to save these two. I kind of want to save Demonic Gifts also. Dragon's Fire. Oh, let that resolve. Then cast Barrowin. And because we've completed the dungeon, one, these are really live now, and these are really live, and two, I can buy back the Triumphant Adventure. Also, our opponent is out of gas, so what we can do is lots of things actually. First, Precipitous Drop on the Skullport Merchant. Let's see if he's willing to sack a bunch of... He might sack the Unwilling Ingredient and then exile the Unwilling Ingredient, but we're forcing him to do it now. Okay, they're really spending it. I'm hoping to get one attack in. Not so sure if that's gonna happen. Deadly Dispute. Okay, so I don't get my Venture. And this is Creature, so I can't buy back the Precipitous Drop, unfortunately. Probably do the Cloister Gargoyle first. Yeah, we can do the Cloister Gargoyle first because we can use Silver Quill to get back. We can use Silver Quill to get back the Triumphant Adventure if we have to. I don't think we... Yeah, we don't want to tap anyway in that case. So, our opponent used up their red dragon, so we're left with basically Immerstrom Predator as a concern. Actually, Orcus is also a concern as well. Opponent goes Shambling Gas. Wow, they really went all out here. I can still swing Barrowin, but it does become an anti-timing with Shambling Gas. Into another Shambling Gas. Actually, you need to do some math now. Return. I can make the 6, 7, 8, 9. I can also do a closing statement to... So the trick is, depends on how our opponent blocks. And so our opponent is gonna, yeah, for our opponent to not lose the Skullport, he's gonna, oh, okay, he sacks that one, but it's a double target. I would have sacked the other one to make sure the Shambling Gases die, so I can take this out. So we are reliant on Blood Grim Bounty. Okay, that's fine. Important thing, surprisingly enough, is that we have a Thwart the Grave also, but none of the requisite creature types. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I feel like this is too soon. But we're never going to get the sacrifice part out anyway. This time we are going for the treasure token. So this now forces our opponent to have an answer for the Cloister Gargoyle. And we do have an answer for their answer, provided it's not Exile. Kalane is not going to do it. Yeah, and there we go. That's game. So let's see. That's 4 wins so far. We still have only 1 pack to our name, but this is the best that we've done in any of the Decathlon events. Let's see if we can keep doing better. It's really a case of doing the math and kind of knowing your threats. So, okay. This one is ultimately super sketchy. We don't have anything good until turn 4. Even then, Ranger's Hawk doesn't do anything unless we have another creature, which we don't have. This is an auto mulligan. This is much better. We can bin the Dungeoneer for the time being. So it's Adventure into Fangblade, which is actually good. And we do have the alternate Ranger's Hawk Bloodchief's Thirst play if things go that far south. I just realized that they only put 1 copy of Ranger's Hawk for the best, if you ask me. Let's see, is this green, blue? No, it's green, white. It's life gain. So, knowing that, first we swing with Triumphant Adventure. Let's see if our opponent can read. Definitely keep the Vanishing Verse too. Yep, they can read, so I would note that the biggest threat here is actually gonna be the Cleric class. But we will have a bit of an early start between Triumphant Adventure and the Vanishing Verse on standbys. As long as it's not another Trelasara, Cleric class, okay, we can actually nuke it when it's relevant, so we can wait on it. In fact, we can play Yonti Fangblade first. Actually, we're gonna swing first. I'm trying to remember what... Yeah, now this... I'm trying to remember if there's a one... I know there's the 2 mana removal tricks. Definitely going for the +1/+1 counter here. Yeah, we're gonna try to curve through as many dungeons as possible. Our opponent, yeah, also they have a Devouring Tendril, so that's a 2 mana removal. It's kind of specific, only 2 damage, but yeah, it is kind of annoying. It will hit almost everything we have right now, in fact. So I guess first priority is +1/+1 counter on the Yonti Fangblade. We do have Ranger's Hawk as a way to back up. So we're actually going to swing with these guys first. See if they're willing. See if they're willing to trade the Fang Blade for the Unicorn. No, they're not. So we're going to draw a card. This will determine what we do next, actually. Oh. Now we need to keep the Scribe because we definitely need removal at this point. I can hold up the I can hold up the Vanishing Verse now, so... Also, they do need to have an actual life gain effect, which they don't quite have yet. Core Celebrant would be on the list of things to be concerned with, so that I might end up sniping that Cleric class, so... I think they're gonna go for a Core Celebrant after gaining 3 life. It will grow this one quite a bit. But what we can do is let them gain the life, but then we can snipe the Celestial Unicorn before it grows big. And we can still punch through with the Adventurer Fangblade. Righteous Valkyrie. That does not gain life. See if our opponent swings. They probably will not. But Righteous Valkyrie is a definite must-kill target here. Also because they only have one of those anyway. Hey, Nadar. Yeah, we definitely want to keep going for the +1/+1 counters, so... Oh, and did I mention that they aren't... Oh, well, we'll offer them a bone. Yep, this is a must-block situation. And opponent concedes! Okay, so best we've done. Five wins. Let's see if we can keep going at it. We did have one close call with that mulligan that we had to take. So always recognize the situation. Recognize your game plan. What do you need to do to make it work? And see if you can make it work from there. I'm actually feeling quite giddy right now. I would like to get the Decathlon win. If only to say that I'm not just throwing gold at the game. But otherwise, I would say I'm... Okay, so Null Priest of Oblivion, not exactly a great one. We do have a Cloister Gargoyle as a starter. Not the best one. Also because we don't have any early removal. I'm really tempted to mulligan this, but we do have a 2 into a 3. I'll just keep this one just to show what happens if you don't have everything you're looking for. Now the adventuring deck does have okay, at least we drew removal. Thank goodness. I think this might... It's also white black, and they have an Orator. So since we don't have to kill the Orator quite yet, we can start dungeoneering a bit. Yeah, definitely want Nadar. If only to have Nadar into Blood Chief's Thirst if we don't go for the Dungeoneer. Wanty Fangblade is annoying. Opponent actually swinging. Oh, because... Oh, it copies it. That's fine. So, I can actually swing with both. Let's just do it. Yeah, I forgot it copies it. My bad. So we do need one more black mana to make Twart the Grave live. If our opponent has the Precipitous drops, we are in real trouble. I could trade, but at this point it's not quite worth it. Veteran Dungeoneer. Okay, so we did hit it. We can use it to get back Cloister Gargoyle and Null Priest, but is that the best way to do it? I think not. We're gonna go in the dark first. I'd say put the counter on the Veteran Dungeoneer to have a blocker. Nuke the Orator. I'd probably say go for it. Because the opponent's plan now is probably to trade Yonti Fangblade with Nadar. We will be able to Twart the Grave unless they take out one of these other two guys. Actually, if they take out both, that's the bad one. If they take out one out of two, it's still kind of fine. Let's see. They might have their own Twart the Grave. Yeah, they will have the mana for it. Though Orator Fangblade does not feel great. Okay, just another Dungeoneer. I'm probably gonna go for the Cloister Gargoyle too. Because that gives us a flying threat. Oh wait, hold on, cancel. We actually, I take it back. We actually want one of these guys to die. Yeah, we're making an intentionally bad attack. For full value, so we can go Cloister Gargoyle, but I guess we go in the Darnell Priest. And there, we got Barrowwind to start getting the rest back. Opponent has their own Cloister Gargoyle, but there's still a bit of a ways away. Also, the Veteran Dungeoneer is still a legit threat right now. That said, okay, +1/+1 counter, most likely on a Dungeoneer. Yes, that makes sense. So I have two choices. Because I can go Barrowwind, Barrowwind, then swing to at least make this a 4/4. Because the other alternative is just to... I guess the other alternative is just to nuke the Dungeoneer. Now, it might... Oh, I forgot they might have demonic gifts. We were better off not doing... Well, they would have done it anyway in combat. It's actually better to do it now. Because the +2/+0 does not become a factor. They will get a free dungeon run, which is a bit annoying. It does make this a 3/4, so that's a problem too. Yeah, they're gonna go for it. I figured they'd have that. So they do complete a dungeon. So I could swing with the Dungeoneer. It will trade with one of these guys. There's no real point swinging with the Null Priest. Maybe I could have waited a bit. Yeah, this is me getting impatient, which is a real issue here. If our opponent starts hitting the removal, we are in trouble because we only got the Barrowwind of Clan Under. Down Under. What do we essentially need to hit here? Oh, they hit their own Barrowin. Okay. They can get back... Well, the stuff they're getting back is not exactly better. We do hit a closing statement. I can use it to nuke the Cloister Gargoyle and just put a counter on the Dark Force, a double block. We can start going this way, but we can also go Tomb of Annihilation. Yeah, their life is quite low already at this point. So yeah, we are taking out Barrowin because that's their repeatable threat. They have another Cloister Gargoyle, but that is... It also means that they can't exactly attack. Oh, they have multiple Cloister Gargoyles. Okay, now they're unloading. We're very close though, just this much life. Oh, closing statement. No risk. Why could I not Oh, there was something I missed, so I couldn't attack. Oh well. Yeah. Oh wait, there you go. They went to Twisted Caverns, that's why. Let's force them to discard that last card. Okay, it's a land, that's fine. I could swing, but it's kind of meaningless right now. Yeah, the Twisted Caverns. That was very good timing for them. They have their own Blood Chief's Thirst, but that's okay, kind of fine. We have a Thunderous Orator. So now we have two creatures with Menace and Lifelink, but we kind of need a way to grow this one or some other effect. No, opponent gives up. They figured that we'd get through it eventually. Yeah, Whew, that was very close. Actually, yeah, that was the closest it's been. I was really tense on that one. I don't know. I wasn't too sure if we would get out of that one, but let's see if we can make it. We are one win away. We can afford to lose twice. But I don't think it would be good for my heart. Also, not good for morale also because when the pressure starts building up, you start making more mistakes. I think I noticed I started making some mistakes along that line too. Yeah, this one is not a great keep. We have an early Vanishing Verse and an early Closing Statement. So we kind of have that as an early value play if we need to. Yeah, the curve is not very flat on this deck. It still has a decent 2-3, but it does flatten a bit on the 4-5 mark. Okay, this is problematic. Opponent's also in green-white. Story Seeker. We'll hold that for now because I'm... Okay, we got a Cloister Gargoyle. Yeah, because we need the Scry right away. Because we need to start hitting mana like that. So, Story Seeker... Let's see what our opponent's payoff is. Okay, Celestial Unicorn. So the concern is if our opponent has a way to gain... And there are ways for our opponent to gain life. So that card could go out of control, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait on it a bit. See what our opponent's follow-up is. Course Celebrant. Okay, that gains them some life. So if our opponent swings with just a unicorn, we just chump block. If they don't, we just go Vanishing Verse right away, and well, actually we hit the mana for closing statement. I can swing with this one, just gets blocked with the Course Celebrant, so no thank you. We'll actually pass on the removal too, because this one just gains life, but it doesn't. But there's nothing that really affects the board now. I'm kind of tempted to go Planar Ally because Accomplished Alchemist gains 1 life, doesn't really do any. Well, it is a big blocker. Now, I can swing with this, but our opponent is probably likely to just block with this, so that's going to be a bit of a waste. I also don't think they need this much mana, so yeah, Accomplished Alchemist was one of the first cards I got rid of right away. That said, our position is not very secure. I really want to hit Planar Ally. You meet in the tavern. Okay, opponent's just digging for creatures. Oh, they hit a lot of creatures. So Drizzt is an issue. Icing Death is an issue. Well, we can kind of block Icing Death with Gargoyle. So the key is we really need to hit this Planar Ally. Or any other card that allows us to venture right away. Like another Cluster Gargoyle would be fine. Nadar would be great. Another mana is not so bad because we can just drop the Planar. Could be better. Fortifying Draught gains some life. So this produces 2 mana instead of 1, which you could have done the same thing by not casting it. And this was an instant too, so that's a bit of a waste. Yeah, let's hope our opponent doesn't have the removal. They are about to get a relatively big board, but like they can drop Drizzt, gain 2 life, and then maybe drop the Course Celebrant. I'm just shooting off the top of my head what could be done. Opponent could also just throw away the Story Seeker to generate even more mana that way. What they really want to do is set up enough for the Celestial Unicorn. So opponent goes Drizzt. Remember, this has double strike, so that might be an issue. So the Veteran Dungeoneer is doing a load of work. Opponent will need to sacrifice Story Seeker or play a land if they want to cast Icing Death. For which I do have an out for it. Thankfully, this is just double strike, no trample. It only benefits if a creature with higher power. So right now it's just Guinevere and the Icing Death if ever. Opponent's doing a lot of mental math. Now the Celestial Unicorn, if it does grow, like let's say our opponent casts a Unicorn now, that also kind of does it. That's what our opponent's gonna do. But it's when one of these bigger ones die. I could just choose to take out Drizzt first. It feels awkward because I do... Yeah, let's take it out right away because that's... Now, opponent gets to grow their creature a bit. Oh, we got Nadar. Nice. Oh, it doesn't grow because it's exiled. Okay. So, now we get to decide if we want to use this now or if we want to just wait for the icing. I say we wait for the icing death. Now, we will end up growing Drizzt. I might let the Dungeoneer die at this point. Also need to do a check. We can get planar ally. That you kind of, it's a weird one. You kind of want the Dungeoneer to die, but it also makes it more expensive. But I guess 6 mana for 2 creatures is probably better than 5 mana for 1. Yeah, opponent's really deep in the tank this time. Opponent is going to pass. Like, I am tempted to do Nadar into the treasure token into closing statement. Let's do that. Oh wait, and also we can... We can get a free venture. I think opponent is trying to do something. Yeah, it's the fight spell. Inscription of Abundance. Oh wow, you thought you were being smart. Well, they do still have a 4/4 double strike, so that is a concern. Until your next turn. No, they do have an icing death now, so yeah, this one's gonna be a bit of an issue. Our good news is that we can just keep swinging up top, since I know this deck does not. This was really the only flyer in the white-green deck, if I'm not mistaken. Oh wait, no, they have Righteous Valkyrie. They have another flyer. Oh, and they also have the Valkyrie Harbinger. That's another flyer. So they actually have two more flyers in the deck. Whew. Yeah, this is getting really tense. Our opponent is in the tank. I'm pretty sure our opponent, whenever it attacks tap target, yeah, our opponent might just put this on here. It'll tap down the Veteran Dungeoneer, which is annoying, but let's see. We don't really have anything to get back. Minimus Containment. Ooh, okay. So, yeah, shrink a little bit. Oh, they can start regaining life this way. Yeah, so is it just tap? Yeah, it just taps it down, but it doesn't. Okay, there's. Yeah, the goblin's not gonna benefit us either case here, so we're gonna let that go. Oh, it actually backfired on us. So we need to race up. We need to race top. Easier said than done. Hopefully the card draw is good. Oyster Gargoyle is good. Let's see, but their life total is too high, so we're still going Fandel Haver. Okay, good. Blood Chief's Thirst is perfect here. So they can gain quite a bit of life. We're gonna take a big hit out of this. Oh wow. Trelasar is also gonna be an issue here. We can... Yeah, the math is slightly off. Oh, they have a Pillar Drop Rescuer. What can they get back? Oh, they whiff. Oh wait, they can get back the Celestial Unicorn. Oh yeah, they do have more flyers. Okay. So they swing with Story Seeker, whichever one. They could swing with Story Seeker to regain stuff. They probably also swing with Drizzt, so we'll take the 10. Let's see who they tap. Most likely the Dungeoneer, which I'm fine with. No, technically we do have the mana. Just need to Okay. So we'll do the Drizzt kill. Actually, no. Let's see. I'm gonna hold back the Cloister Gargoyle. I don't like the idea of using it just for this, but can I wait? That's the question. Because let's say I go for it. Yeah, let's go for it. Now, another thing I could have done is I could have actually brought back Nadar. Yeah, I could have sacked that first, brought back Nadar. Though I do have other ways of bringing back Nadar. Yeah, there's that Harbinger. So opponent needs to gain 4 or more life a turn. Thankfully, they don't quite have it. This better be good. Nope, it's a land. So I could swing with the Planar Allied, but that's just meaningless. Also, it has flying and lifelink, so that's a horrible idea. Now we're in a bit of a standstill. Then again, if we went for Nadar instead of another Gargoyle, it's probably the same thing. Yeah, the plan right now is to find a way to nuke the Harbinger, then just keep swinging up top. Yeah, because thankfully their life gain is awfully limited, though their Trelasar is about to become really big. Okay, they like what they see. That's just not usually a good sign for us. Also note that they revitalize, draw a card. Okay. Okay, they're gonna get a 4/4 Angel now. Yeah, we need to nuke this ASAP. The only good thing is that they don't have that many shots at life. Well, I think they have another Revitalize, so Cleric class is going to be the big issue. I could have sniped the Celebrant earlier, I suppose, but... Oh, do please put it on Valkyrie Harbinger and swing. Nope, not gonna swing. It's gonna sit. He's gonna now sit back and let these grow. That said, we're still sniping the Harbinger. First chance we get. Barrowin of Clan Under does it. Well, it doesn't quite do it, but it does give us a start, I think. Atrophel, not exactly great. Yeah, the Death Touch is nice. Yeah, the problem with this one is it's a lot of shots, and I think we're not going to get that many. Well, that was a good scry. So next turn we're gonna suicide Barrowin to get back Nadar. Yuck. I already hate the idea, but we kind of have to do it. How many we've used one closing statement so far. We have two more. We have, I think we have another Precipitous drop. We have two more Blood Chief's Turf. So that's about 5 pieces of oh wait. Pillar Drop Rescuer. Yeah, the Pillar Drop Rescuers buying back all these creatures is a big issue. Yeah, the game went on too long. We were not able to maintain control. Yeah, this is... Also, how much life did they gain? 1, 2, 3... This is 4 or more life, so... Kinda dodged it? Wait, how many are descending? If it's just these 3, that's an easy block. Cloister Gargoyle. Oh, they might tap the Cloister Gargoyle in question, so that might be an issue. We will have to chuck the other 2 Cloister Gargoyles in front of it. Ooh, I would say that was annoying, but I wouldn't call that the right block. That said, our life total is awfully low that I am forced to chump block with the other Gargoyle. Okay, got the gifts actually. Oh, the gifts is actually a good one. It's also possible our opponent just doesn't block, or just chump blocks. I do like it if they block with the Harbinger as well. Okay. Let's see, we can get back another Cloister Gargoyle in the next attack. Actually, we're going to be cycling a lot of Cloister Gargoyles at this rate. Ugh. Okay, the good news with the Righteous Valkyrie is... Actually, no, it's not good news, because gains 2, it will get really big. Yeah, because our opponent has a Story Seeker they can cast as a follow-up. So probably let Nadar die again. Oh wait, no, the other lightning hasn't procced yet. Wow. No, it's a good thing we didn't swing with one more. I would have needed every blocker on deck. And we don't have that many already. Yeah, this is let's see. Okay. Let's see which one they tap. Okay, okay, so we're not gonna be able to take out the Valkyrie Harbinger. We might as well not. Oh wait, why did I do that? It was gonna survive anyway. Yeah, that's what happens. The stress is getting the better of me. Yep. When it goes off like this, it goes off like this. So do we have any real outs? Yeah, our opponent hit their rares. Well, we hit two of our rares. Our opponent hit. Yeah, that's a good thing. Let's see, if I were to... Yeah, last hurrah. Maybe we could draw something, but it would... Yep, Orator. Yeah, that's just all I had. Well, so we did get stuck out on that one. Yeah, our opponent really yeah, our opponent managed to get more gas than we did. A little bit close, but sometimes that's how it goes. Well, we took our first loss. We're gonna take it in the chin, and we're going to see if we can... Well, first take a deep breath. We're 1 win away, but we're 2 losses away from being really livid about this. Could I have saved on certain removal? Kinda tough to say. No, our opponent they hit all their rares. We barely did hit ours. Okay, super sketchy. If we don't hit the third land, we do absolutely nothing. If we do hit our third land, we can go off a bit. I'm now scared. Let's take a moment. Okay, this is more reasonable. Yeah, let's keep the 2 turn 2, please. So definitely want to lead on Orator first because that's more likely to die. Also note that there is very little crossover in the cards, so... By playing Thunderous Orator, I automatically signal that this is the white opponent has Kalane. It's tempting to just maybe wait for the 1 more mana. Because let's say our opponent sacks it, there are not that many good things for him to sack it into. Actually, we're gonna hold on it first. We're gonna probably just play the Null Priest on. Let's see what our opponent's follow-up here is. Hired Hexblade. Okay, that's not the worst. So if we hit another black mana, we can just Bloodchief into Null Priest. We did not, and now we're presented with a decision. I guess we just do this first because we need to scry. We missed a land drop already. It's not a swamp, but we will still keep it. It still gives us a land drop of sorts. Yeah, this was well. This second hand was not the most powerful, but it did give us options. Yeah, the mana base. Yeah, the number one problem is usually gonna be your mana. If you, I can see why the Treasures deck would be more popular because it usually dodges that issue. Improvised weaponry. Okay. So we can go Barrowin, but note that we don't get anything back until. We're making the treasure token. We can Bloodchief's Thirst something. Not ideal. I kind of have to do it. So next turn we're just holding up the demonic gifts for the inevitable removal that's gonna happen. Though thankfully we know their hard removal is 4 mana. Oh wow. I figured that was gonna happen. Well, it's a shame we couldn't do it as a combat trick, but that is kind of acceptable. If we can hit another black mana, we can buy back the Thunderous Orator. It could also buy back Barrowin if Barrowin dies, so that's something to note. Okay, we probably don't need this much mana, so we're gonna hold. No, we technically need mana, but we don't need another Plains. Wow. Our opponent also been Okay, they hit their land drop. Is this the gold? Nope, Westgate Regent. It's worse. Yeah. So we definitely need to save that Plains. Because discard the card is part of the combat. Yeah, so at least we get to draw a card, but we really need to hit. Wow, what do we hit? We used up our removal already. We need to hit a closing statement. Oh no, they're gonna sack it to nuke the Triumphant Adventure. I guess we're gonna have to draw a card the old-fashioned way. Yeah, all this land draws really did a number on us. We do have to get that back. Yeah, we haven't completed a dungeon yet, that's the problem. If they have another way to snipe the adventurer, we are in trouble. Yeah, we really are digging for removal for Westgate Regent. please, not like this. Well, I'll cry about it in the next game. I do note that it's a good thing they don't have a way to make you discard cards. Otherwise, the ward discard the card would have been really painful. Grim Bounty destroys it again. Really don't want us to draw. Yeah, that's a good game. Yeah, we really needed to draw our way out of that one. We could not, and yeah, sometimes it just takes one random rare to end it. Well, but take note of the games we lost. And the first one, it's just they hit all their rares. I can confidently say they hit all their rares. This one, they happened to hit the one rare that I could not remove, so okay. So consolation prize, we get 3 packs, which is it is more than the 2,000 gold you put in, but it's a real feel bad. Yeah, I did say that I should have considered if I want to change, but you know what? We'll just go with this one. So, no, Blood Priest into Gargoyle with a closing statement backup. Okay, we can keep that one. Well, Blood Priest into. Well, we'll do the Cloister Gargoyle early. This is definitely the... Do they have the Sculptor? No, they have a Lotus Cobra. We won't have the removal until next turn, and we might end up having to remove something else. We do have a few Wizards and some Warriors, but it's mostly... Okay, let's see what their big one is. Could be a Spirit of the Elder Guard. Oh, just tapping 2 mana. Avalanche Caller. That is worthy of sniping. Actually, it's a good question. Which of these two would you snipe? I'm also trying to remember if they have any... No, I don't think they do. I guess we go for it. It's a feel bad that we're doing it on the Avalanche Caller and not the... We're doing it on the Avalanche Caller and not the Lotus Cobra. Yeah, they could have activated it. The lands would have been more threatening in the immediately. Opponent could cast a Berg Strider, tap this down. We will have to start dumping our hand. Blizzard Brawl. Okay, that's fine. That's one into an Elder Guard. That's not so fine. Okay, so what's our plan here? So, you want to see Fangblade. They might have another Blizzard Brawl. Which is why I'm going to go with the Yonti Fangblade first. Yeah, it's a feel bad if our opponent does happen to have it or happens to have... Also note that they're at 6-man. Okay, they do... Yeah, they might have all the answers, which is going to be a big problem. Bubble Snare. Yeah, I should have just gone with the 1-2 here. Wow, we are in real trouble. Oh my gosh, we're gonna... It's not like this. Not like this. They could have a snow day, which would really wreck us. Okay, do they also have the Kraken? In which case, yeah. Oh my gosh, so close. They do have the snow day. Okay, so we are taking 8. Okay, we definitely have to cast Cloister Gargoyle and some. Casting the Cloister Gargoyle because we do need to. Probably too late at that point. So we just need to survive one more. If our opponent happens to have another Bubble Snare, it's really sad, but... No, Bert. Oh, come on. Yep, there we go. Opponent just happened to have everything. Wow. So close, yet so far. Yep, this is the best we've done. Do I want to try this event again? I don't know if it's going to get any better. Well, we do get a few nice remastered packs, so that's it. The problem is, especially with the... I have problems basically with events where you don't exactly have that much control. Okay, Alchemy, I did have some control. I could have played a different deck there. But sometimes, yeah, sometimes the matchups refuse to cooperate. And sometimes there's those imbalances there. I guess we did make some mistakes in that sense where we should have done the 2 creature drop earlier than do the Yuan-Ti Fangblade after, but it would have saved us some damage because our opponent would not be attacking with the Lotus Cobra, but that's about it. I can't think of much of anything else. Anyway, that's my bad beat. I might do this again on some other time, but we'll save it till then. That's gonna be it for this episode, the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great weekend. Have a great rest of the year, everyone.